See it a little bit by this whack job. You know, he said, we're weird. That JD and I are weird. I think we're extremely normal people. Like you, exactly like he's weird.
That was Donald Trump speaking in York, Pennsylvania. This was supposed to be a speech about the economy, but it was really just Donald Trump rambling like that. Here, Donald Trump says if he wanted to when he was in office, he could have made billions if he played the game like how President Biden played it. But Donald Trump says he didn't play it like that. Here, play the clip.
He wined and dined them at Joe's houses. They saw his boats. They saw the way he lived. They saw his beautiful mansions. I would have made billions of dollars in this job if I wanted to play that game the way they played it. But instead, I took the job very seriously and very importantly. And you can see from the recently announced financial reports, I don't need the money. And I'm proud to announce that doing and being president, I lost billions of dollars. And
I mean, Donald Trump literally had a building down the street where he made people like stay at his hotel there so he could take money off of that. I think Donald Trump made like hundreds of millions of dollars while in office selling pieces of our country, but I digress. It's just so absurd. Here in the speech that's supposed to be about the economy, Donald Trump continues to talk about how President Biden was the subject of a coup. Here, play this clip.
Father is a Marxist professor, and I believe he taught her well. You know, he's a Marxist professor. Can you imagine? Does anyone know that? I wonder if they knew that when they did an overthrow or a coup on Joe Biden. I wonder if they knew where she comes from, where she came from, what her ideology is. But
take a look at the lady standing behind Donald Trump here. She's like checking her watch, like, what am I even doing here? Play this clip.
See it a little bit by this whack job. You know, he said, we're weird. That JD and I are weird. I think we're extremely normal people.
Yeah, you're being used as a prop by Donald Trump in this deranged speech that he's given here. Again, this is supposed to be about the economy. Donald Trump says that he was totally vindicated in the classified document case where he stole our nuclear secrets and war plans. And the judge that he appointed, Judge Eileen Cannon, dismissed the case and claimed that there's no such thing as a special counsel. She's going to get reversed. But this is what Donald Trump's talking about. Here, play this clip.
And remember, Comrade Kamala, she knew everything, and the senators knew what was going on. And by the way, I had my own classified documents case, and I was totally exonerated. Totally. There was a case brought by Joe Biden and Kamala. She was involved. They did that in order to interfere with the election, and it still goes on, different cases, but that was, according to most, the big one. And we were totally exonerated. The case was won a month ago. Very little coverage of the case being won, I must say. I think that a lot of them.
Apparently here, Donald Trump doesn't know what his name was and refers to himself as the gentleman named Donald Trump. Play the clip.
Everyone was better off when you had a gentleman named President Donald J. Trump at the helm. Does anybody know him? Whoever he may be.
Fox, at this point, they're covering this. They can't take it anymore. They know that their viewers can't see how deranged he is, so they just cut away from the coverage. Play this clip.
Next tips. All of a sudden, she comes out and she says the same thing, exactly the same words that I used.
Okay. Former President Trump in York, Pennsylvania, keeping an eye on that speech on the economy. Britt Hume, Karl Rove, and Marie Harf are all here. Karl, let me start with you. This is obviously an effort, which, you know, the other party always does at sort of counter programming during the week of the opposite party's convention. We're going to hear from the former president every day this week. He's in York talking about the economy. What do you think about the message there?
Well, smart to go to a critical state.
Yep.
Much more disciplined message needed. I mean, I've been through this twice. And you want to go to these places and you want to have a simple message that the media has to cover. Instead, he gives them a gigantic smorgasbord. Some of it is written into a speech draft, but apparently some of it is just ad hoc. And they get to pick and choose. And who thinks that the dominant media in this country is going to pick the thing that is best productive for him in getting votes. They're going to pick out something like he just said, casting aspersions on Kamala Harris or President Biden. So yes, you want to do this. You want to go to critical states. He's going later this week to Arizona, critical battleground state, to talk about immigration. But in order to force the media to cover your message, you need to be disciplined, focused, and short. And then,
well, you may do that, Fox, but the people need to see how deranged this individual is. Here, Donald Trump says things were going well, but then it stopped when he was in office. Play the clip.
Rebuild our industrial base and bring back those beautiful words, made in the USA. And we were doing that 4 years ago and starting to do really well. And then we had to stop for an unknown reason.
And then Donald Trump just starts to list years, 2019, 2018. Play the clip.
And we were doing that against China. You know, there was a long time expression that China will take over the world's largest economy. It'll take it over in 2019. Well, in 2019, we were doing so well, 2018, 2017, that China never even came close. We were lapping them. They never came close. And even
here, Donald Trump does this weird lie where he claims that people who are going in to steal things at convenience stores or at markets or whatever, they're going in with their calculators and they're calculating that it's $950. Again, it's not true, but play the clip.
Think of this. If you steal $950 or less, they're going to leave you alone. They can't be bothered. So you see criminals going into stores with a little computer, adding it up, everything they've stolen. They want to stay under the 950, but they don't get prosecuted for above that. The only one that gets prosecuted is somebody who would talk about the unfair election. They get prosecuted. But when you steal and rob and kill and so many other things, when you sell drugs and destroy people's lives, nothing happens to you under Kamala.
Here's the full clip of Donald Trump whining about being called weird.
See it a little bit by this whack job. You know, he said, we're weird. That JD and I are weird. I think we're extremely normal people. Like you, exactly like, he's weird. Did you ever see him go on the stage and go like crazy? It's like between his movement and her laugh, there's a lot of craziness. I'd say a step further than weird. Weird is a nice word by comparison.
Look, y'all are very weird. You know, at the Trump Vance event, the Trump JD Vance events, they're now handing out these like cases that are like fake JD Vance semen specimens. It says full family kit, and they hand them out at these events, like to people, and they walk around to say, look how much JD loves families. We're walking around with JD Vance's semen. Yeah. So people are going to your events now wearing diapers, wearing shirts that say convicted felon, and holding like fake JD Vance like semen jars. Okay, it's very strange stuff. Here, Donald Trump goes on to say, he goes, first, he's talking negatively about electric vehicles. Then he says it is rambling. Then he says DC's not safe. And then he goes, I'm going to make it safe, like quickly. Here, play this clip.
About putting all the cars on it. Well, doesn't work because the cars don't go far. If you'd like to go from here to, let's say, Washington to look after we fix the Capitol up and make it safe again, which will take approximately quickly. But after we fix it up, and if you want to drive there, you don't want to stop 5 times. You want to be able to go there, and you want to be able to enjoy it, and you don't want to be mugged or shot or killed.
Here, Donald Trump talks about the tariffs he wants to impose, and doesn't seem to be something that people want there. Play this clip.
Rest of their lives. As I've said many, many times before, as tariffs on foreign countries go up, taxes on American workers and families come down. According to one recent study, a small 10% tariff on foreign-made products will allow massive tax cuts for working families, create more than 3 million American jobs, raise household incomes by 6%. Think of that. And this
Here, Donald Trump lies and says the supply chain is currently crashed and there's no supply chain. The supply chain doesn't work right now. He doesn't even know what a supply chain is. Here, play this clip.
our supply chain has crashed, and you don't write about it now, but it's still crashed. And all you have to do is say, where's the package that was supposed to be here 3 months ago? People aren't getting them. It's very bad what's happened. They've destroyed our supply chain, which is something.
Donald Trump then says the greatest country 70 years ago, calls it a country, was American steel. Play this clip.
Country that wants to purchase one of our greatest, if you go back 70 years, our greatest country, our greatest company by far was United States Steel Corporation. That was the big deal. And now we have.
And then Donald Trump says that he's going to bring back electric components and electric companies, that they don't exist. He's going to bring back electric. Play the clip.
No choice. This is really a matter of national security. We will bring back electronic production. We're going to bring up electronics too. Electronics, we buy everything away. When you see.
Yeah, I don't even know what to make of that. That was his speech. That was the speech that he gave on the economy. This guy's out of control. There's nothing normal about that. Don't normalize it. Call it out. Just, you can share these videos with friends, family, coworkers, neighbors. Just people need to know what a dangerous person he is. He could hear it himself and judge. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.